everybody, Miss Kim here at the Rosebank Garden. So today we're going to be talking about seed saving. But first, let's sing our song. Get out your seeds. All right. Plant the little seed in the dark, dark ground. Out comes the yellow sun, big and round. Down comes the cool rain, soft and slow. Up comes the little plant, grow, grow, grow. Yay! So today I have some cool plants to show you that are ready for harvest. Some of them are ready to eat, and some have gone past their eating time and have gone to seed. That's what we call things whenever we grow them just to save the seeds. So the things that we can harvest that have seeds are tomatoes. And if you open it up, inside, you'll see all the seeds. These are all little seeds. And you can take these seeds, they look like this, and you can take them out of your tomato. If you really, really liked your tomato and you want to grow this kind again next year, you can let them dry. Just put them on a plate and let them dry. And then you can put them in a little bag and label the bag cherry tomato, because that's what those are. And you can put them away until next spring. And whenever spring comes, you can grow those tomatoes again. So that's pretty cool, right? That's what they mean by seed saving. You can grow them after you've saved the seeds from the ones that you've eaten. We also save seeds from, it's windy today. We also save seeds from different herbs. So this is basil and this is dill. Dill is something that we put in pickles. When we're pickling cucumbers, because that's what pickles are, cucumbers, you put the dill herb in it a lot of the time. Now the dill seeds are in these little teensy tiny flowers. And you can just, whenever they look dry, oops, you can just have them, put them in your hand just like that, and you can put them into an envelope or a baggie, and you can write dill on the bag, and next year do the same thing as you do with the tomatoes. You can plant them and they'll grow more dill. Sometimes dill even goes to seed, which is what they call whenever a plant dies, and after it flowers and then it dies, it goes to seed, and it'll just drop seeds right where it is, and it'll just grow the next year. So that's pretty cool. It can just reseed itself. Basil is the same way. You see these pretty white flowers? After these flowers are done blooming, then they also produce seeds right inside these little pods. And you just pull the seeds off and plant your basil. We also have one of our favorites, sunflowers. This is what the inside of a sunflower seed looks like. This is your sunflower. This is after your sunflower goes to seed. So these are the seeds. They're way deep in here. Get one. This is a sunflower seed. And they come out just like that. That's how birds get them, with their beaks. They stick their beaks in there and they pull them out. Got a sunflower seed. These are a little smaller than the kind that you eat in stores, that you'll find in stores. But that's just because they're a different variety. They're a different kind. So then we also have corn. Now this corn didn't grow very big this year, but it did, if you feel it, you can tell that it did grow a bunch of kernels. The kernels are the things we pop whenever we eat popcorn. So I will show you what I'm talking about. Open up, peel back the ear of corn, that's what it's called, the ear. And inside is corn, all these little kernels. And these kernels are what you eat when you eat popcorn. And they're also what you eat when you eat corn, just regular old corn, see? And you can take these and put them away for next year, and guess what they'll do? They'll grow more corn. So, these are all the different kinds of things that you can use. I bet if you go outside and you find different wildflowers or different things around your yard, I bet you can find some really cool seeds. If we were in the garden, that's what we would do. We'd walk around and we'd look for different kinds of seeds. So maybe you can try that at home. Have a great day, kids. See you next time. Hi everybody, Miss Kim here at Rosebake Garden. So today we're going to make some really cool seed art. I've got a giant sunflower that has seeds inside. I started taking them out, but I want you to see where all the seeds come from. They come from inside the flower. So cool. And they're little teensy tiny black seeds. Well, I guess they're not as small as some seeds, but these are really cool. Hold on. There we go. It's a sunflower seed. So we're going to use sunflower seeds, and we're going to use these awesome red corn seeds that you just pull off, and they look like this. Corn seeds. Little tiny corn seeds. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a sunflower. We're going to draw the middle part, which is a circle. You can use crayons, markers, whatever you have to do this. And then you're going to draw its little flowers all around. All around. And then, whenever you're done drawing your flower petals, we are going to get our glue right here. We're going to take the glue, and now where are the sunflower seeds? They're in the middle part, right? So we're going to put the glue in the middle of our sunflower. All right, all over it. There we go. And then we're going to take our seeds and we're just going to stick them as well as we can to the glue. We're going to stick them in there so it's nice and 3D and cool looking. Now this might take a little bit. And we can do the same with our corn. Be sure you leave your seeds sitting long enough so that they can dry, so that when you pick up your paper, hopefully they won't all fall off. We'll just have to see what happens. So you don't have to cover it completely if you don't want to. But you can do this with any plant where you can find a seed. And you can stick them all over where you find your seeds on your plant, so that when it gets cold and gray outside, because it will, it's going to get cold soon, you can look at your plant and you can remember, where are sunflower seeds? Oh, they're in the middle part. Okay. And you'll keep on gluing them on the middle there until it's all done. And I'm going to do the same with my corn. So I have some yellow corn, and then I have this kind of red corn as well. So I might do one of each. So just draw your corn. What's your corn shaped like? I'll use this color for the other corn. And then you take your kernels, get your glue out. You do the same thing with your corn. Oops. And you just stick the seeds on there. And make beautiful, beautiful seed art. So I bet you can find a lot of different kinds of flowers growing around your yard. Even growing wild, even if you didn't plant anything. So if you have glue and you have crayons and you have paper, then you can make these cool little seed art things. And you can put them up on your wall, and then when it's cold and gray outside, you'll remember where your seeds are, and next year we can plant some. Have a great time. See y'all next week.
Hi friends, thanks for joining me in the garden for a book. I'm Miss Malia and I'm coming to you from the Ross Garden today, and we are going to read A Seed is Sleepy. Do you feel sleepy today? Let's take a peek. Look at all these different types of seeds. There are so many. So let's read about them. A seed is sleepy. It lies there, tucked inside its flower, on its cone, or beneath the soil, snug and still. A seed is secretive. It does not reveal itself too quickly. Most seeds sleep through a season or two, waiting for the warmer temperatures of spring. But some take their time. 10 years might pass before the bright red-orange seed of the Texas mountain laurel shows its purple blossoms. That's a long time to wait. Do you think you could be that patient? A seed is fruitful. 90% of the plants on Earth are flowering plants. Flowering plants produce fruits of all shapes and textures that keep the seeds cozy until they have found the right place to grow. Do you feel cozy today? A seed is naked. Yes, naked. Scientists call gymnosperms seeds that aren't clothed in fruits naked seeds. Most naked seeds hide themselves on the scales of cones until they're ready to make a dash for the ground. Who would guess that a seed as small as a freckle would grow into the world's tallest tree? Only 10% of redwood trees begin as seeds, though. Most redwood trees spring from existing trees. That's interesting. So look at this. Some seeds are coated in cozy warmth, and some are naked. Seeds come in many sizes. The orchid seed is the smallest of all. There might be 1,000,000 seeds in one pod. Can you count to 1,000,000? That would take a really long time. The seed of the Coco de Mer palm is the largest. It can weigh up to 60 pounds. That's probably more than you. Look at that. A seed is adventurous. It must strike out on its own in search of a less crowded place to put down roots. A parachute of fine, silky hairs can take a dandelion seed 100 miles from its parent plant. Have you ever blown a dandelion? Puff, and see the seeds scatter? That seed could travel 100 miles. This is a milkweed pod, and we'll learn about this one in our garden lesson today. This one has little seeds that are attached to these little puffs, and they take off on the wind too, and they can travel really far also. Let's see. Drift seeds float on ocean currents from one shore to another. Wow! So they take a trip on the ocean. They have enough air inside to help them float, and their thick, protective shells keep out seawater. These are all different types of drift seeds. A seed is inventive. Has to be clever. To find a spot to grow, a seed might need to leap from its pod or cling to a child's shoestring. Have you ever had seeds stick on your clothes or your shoes? Or tumble through a bear's belly? A seed hopes to land where there's plenty of sunlight, soil, and water. Sunlight, soil, and water, those are things that a seed definitely needs to grow. A seed is generous. It gives the baby plant or embryo a seed coat to keep it warm. Here's a bean. That's what happens with the bean seed. A rice, pumpkin, a splash pine, and a teak. Whoa. Look at how they grow. The embryo's first meal comes from its seed leaves, or cotyledons. I don't really know how to pronounce that. I'll have to find out. Seeds with one seed leaf, like corn, are called monocots. Seeds with two seed leaves, like beans, are called dicots. Mono for one and di for two. Some seeds are ancient. Not all seeds are eager to germinate. Some have lain dormant or slept undisturbed, like hibernating, for more than 1,000 years. The oldest known seed to sprout came from an extinct date palm tree. After it was unearthed from a long ago king's mountaintop palace in Israel, a scientist planted it. 4 weeks later, it sprouted. A seed is thirsty and hungry. Remember, it needs water and sun and soil. Part of the seed, the root, feels the tug of gravity and digs down deep. Another part of the seed, the shoot, is sensitive to light, so it reaches for the sun. Once a seed has shed its coat, it drinks in the rain, the dew, and yesterday's icicles. It feasts on minerals in the soil. A seed is clever. Plants make their own food through a process called photosynthesis. Inside plant leaves are cells containing chemicals that absorb sunlight. Light gives them the energy they need to turn water and carbon dioxide, a gas that's in the air, into food. So they help make their own food. It knows to seek the sunlight, to push itself up, up, up through the soil, but it must wait a while before that happens. A seed is sleepy, but only until it has found a place in the sun and it has had its breakfast and a drink of water. You see it growing? Then a seed is awake. Thanks for joining me today, friends. We'll see you soon. Hey garden friends, it's Miss Malia at the Ross Garden today, and we're talking about seed saving. So this is the garden demonstration video, and I'm going to talk to you about how and why we save seeds in the garden. Everything starts from a seed, so we need to make sure that we have those seeds so that we can plant them in the ground to grow our new plants. And let me show you first this okra plant over here. So I'm going to show you a few different types of plants and the seeds that come from them. So this first plant is an okra plant. Anybody like okra? It's pretty good. So this is an okra that's still growing, and we could harvest it and eat it. What we also let happen is we let some of them dry on the vine, on our plant here. And when they dry, we can then harvest. This one doesn't want to come off. We can then harvest the seeds. So once this okra pod dries out, we can open it up. Look at all those big, beautiful seeds. Those are really cool. Look at those. So when they're dry, we will harvest the seeds. We'll make sure that they're really, really dried out. We'll take good care of them. And then next year in the spring, we'll plant them to grow more okra. And you might think, well, why don't we just go and buy some seeds from the store? Which you can. But the really cool thing about harvesting these seeds that have already grown in this garden, in this area in Tennessee, is that this plant and these seeds are used to this ground and they're used to this environment. So they're going to grow even better than some other seeds that we might buy. So there's some okra seeds. Let's check out some other seeds in the garden. Here you'll see some corn stalks. They might not look quite like you're used to. If you're driving out a little farther, or you might even have some corn in your garden or in your yard, or someone in your neighborhood might have some. And usually it's green. It's green and leafy, and then you harvest the corn off of it. Right now, we've let this dry so that we can save these seeds. This is a type of corn that has a really beautiful color to it. Take a look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at all those different colors in that corn. So we'll take this cob out, we'll save it, we'll dry it, and then we can plant those kernels again. There's a really pretty one over here I want to show you. I want to remind you that corn can come in lots of different colors, just like the carrots we talked about last week. Whoa! Have you ever seen corn this color before? Check that out. And it's important to save our seeds before the plants, ooh, look at that, before the plants deteriorate and decompose too much. Because if we don't, the animals may eat it or make a home out of it. This one, I think, whoa, check out that ant party. Whoa! Can you see all those? Wow! Look at this from this side. The ants made a huge nest in there. And those white little round pieces are all of their eggs. All right, friends, let's go this way. We're going to check out 2 other plants that we're going to save some seeds from. Along the way, you can see our giant pumpkin plants that are growing. Maybe over this way, we can find a pumpkin to show you. Here we go. Check this out. Can you see that? Some pumpkins. We can carve them up. All right, so come this way, friends. 2 more plants to show you about the seed saving. One is right here. This is our milkweed plant. And milkweed is something that monarch butterflies really love. Let me pick one of these off and show you what's happening here. In this milkweed pod, look at that. Some other animal friends are making a home. And in this pod, this will dry out. And all of these are individual seeds that will pop out. And they typically, when they're dry, they take flight. And then they fly off and plant themselves. But we'll save some of these so we can plant them in the spring. All right, one more plant. We saw this plant in the book we just read. This is our sunflower. See that? Sunflowers also come in some different colors and some different sizes and shapes, different varieties. And so when those sunflowers die and dry up, this is the head of the sunflower. And in there are the seeds, the sunflower seeds. So we will keep these heads of the sunflowers. We will harvest the seeds, make sure they stay nice and dry, so that they're ready for us to plant in the spring. All right, friends, so that was our garden demonstration of our seed saving. So remember, it's important to be kind to our seeds, to save them, keep them dry and warm, so we can plant them again in the spring. All right, see you later, friends. Hi friends, Miss Malia again at the Ross Garden. It's time for our closing circle for our seed saving lesson. So thank you for joining us for our seed saving lesson today. Remember how to spell seed? S-E-E-D, seed. So we talked all about saving seeds and why that's important and how we can do that in our garden. We also were able to read this really beautiful book called A Seed is Sleepy. So if you want us to read that again, you can go back and watch that part of the video. And then we took you through our garden and checked out the different things, the different plants that we could save seeds from. One example was our okra plant. This is a green one that you could still harvest and cook and eat. But let me show you actually what the seeds look like while it's still green and while you can still eat them, because they look a little bit different. Open it up for you. Here we go. Ooh, look at that. It almost looks like corn. Is that interesting? And then when this dries out, take a look at how different it is. Dries out. See the seeds on this one? And then the seeds in the dry one are a different color. They are dry and they are ready for us to take out of the pod and to hold on to, keep them dry and safe until the springtime when we will plant the okra again. Another example was some corn that we will be able to harvest the seeds from. And this one, ooh, this one has a beautiful color here. You ever seen corn that color? Not usually. This one's really pretty. And a couple other cobs of corn that we can save the seeds from. That one's really neat. And all of these seeds are called kernels. When it's on a corn cob, it's called a kernel of corn. There's one other one that was really neat. Look at this one. Look at that color. Isn't that beautiful? So we can take those kernels out and then make sure they're really nice and dry, and then we can plant them again in the spring, so we'll have more corn. A couple other things we looked at sunflower seeds, and we looked at some milkweed pods that had seeds in them also. And then Miss Kim got to take you through a fun art project, and now here we are at our closing lesson. So we would love to see either a picture of your artwork, or I'm going to challenge you, can you find a seed either in your house or maybe outside if you go for a walk safely? So it could be a seed from a flower, it could be a seed from something you ate today, maybe an apple or an orange, or I don't know, get creative. And if you can send a picture to your teacher of either the art project you did or send us a picture of a seed that you found, we would love to see it. All right, so friends, the last thing we do when we are together is we plant our own seeds. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Plant the little seed in the dark, dark ground. Out comes the yellow sun, big and round. Down comes the cool rain, soft and slow. Up comes the little plants, grow, grow, grow. Awesome! And that's what happens. When we save our seeds and we plant them in the ground, they'll grow, grow, grow. Awesome. So good to be together. See you again soon.